What's something that you didn't understand as a child but now can understand? When I was a child, my parents had a way of talking in whispers when they thought I wasn't paying attention. The kitchen would suddenly fall silent when I entered the room, or they'd switch to words I couldn't decipher, like bills and mortgage. I thought they were just keeping secrets from me, and it hurt. I remember sitting on the stairs, listening to their muffled voices, convinced they were hiding something huge, something that would change everything if I knew. Once, when I was about 8, I asked my mom why they always whispered when I was around. She smiled, but her eyes were tired. "Grown-up things, sweetie. You wouldn't understand." I hated those words. What was so hard to understand? They spoke English, didn't they? Years passed, and those whispered conversations became background noise, something I learned to ignore. I busied myself with school, friends, and dreams of growing up. I didn't care anymore what they were talking about. Then, when I was older, in my early 20s, my dad sat me down one evening. His eyes had the same tired look my mom's had back then. Only this time, I understood the language. He explained how they'd struggled with money when I was younger, how there were months when they didn't know if they'd make the rent or put food on the table. Those whispered words, bills, debt, mortgage, hadn't been secrets. They were burdens too heavy for my small shoulders back then. I realized they weren't hiding things from me because they didn't trust me. They were shielding me from worries they didn't want me to carry. They had wanted my world to stay full of magic, toys, and innocence for as long as it could. It broke me a little to think of my parents bearing the weight of those struggles alone. But it also made me love them more deeply than I ever had before. What I couldn't understand as a child was that sometimes, love means keeping some worries hidden, not out of secrecy, but out of protection. Now, I listen to their whispered conversations with new ears, hearing not just words, but love in every silence.